B, let's go east of the Rockies. Bill in West Hartford, Connecticut. You're on the air.
Yes, hi, Dave. Yes, hi. Doctor, I'm an atheist, and Dave, I understand where you're coming from regarding fear of death. I have a tremendous fear of death myself, but I do think there is a phenomena going on. I think that NDEs are going on. What I am waiting for personally is data-driven scientific proof, scientific data that shows one way or the other what happens when we die, if there is something there when we die or if we don't. Let me explain. And I have a mind-blowing, fascinating, outside-the-box take on what NDEs might be. And it involves a show that George Norrie did in late February with Linda Moulton, how the simulated universe, that our universe may be a computer simulation, and that the NDEs, near-death experiences, or people who actually do die ultimately and don't come back, are in the real reality, because most, if not all, of the people who have NDEs say their experience in what you would call the other side, I would call the real reality. They say it's more real than life itself. So let me form a question for your guests. Since this theory of that our universe may be a computer simulation, and by the way, maybe the aliens, UFO aliens and extraterrestrials may be the beings from outside our simulation that are coming into our simulation to visit us, that maybe created our universe. If that is true, could it be that what I'm saying could be a fact, in that if our universe is a simulation and the real reality is in other words, in our universe, consciousness is the only real thing, our mind, our consciousness, not the word soul, but
what's
our
the
mind.
focus?
So our mind can exist here or outside the simulation in the real reality. What do you think, Doctor?
Yeah, that's an intriguing take on it, and I think the question is we just really don't know. But what you propose is certainly something that's very stimulating to think about, because when people do have these near-death experiences, they do come back and say it's more real than this, and so that certainly stimulates a curiosity about if what they are explaining is more real than what we're experiencing, what is it? But I continue to bump up against the fact that I think that maybe at this point in our evolution, we may not be smart enough to kind of untangle and unravel what's really going on. And so we kind of fumble around all of our theories to try to explain it. But I think, just kind of holding it loosely in curious regard kind of puts us in a position to ultimately understand it. I think the tendency is to kind of force it into a belief system. We all try to do that just to make sense of it. I think that's human nature, to try to force it into a scaffolding that we're familiar with. But, I like your idea that, kind of looking at it as, both of these experiences may be kind of holographic. We just don't know. And I think if we kind of step back and look at it with curiosity, we're more likely to eventually understand it than if we try to shut it down and kind of, cram it into a belief system that may close the door on, future understanding. So very insightful.
Thank you so much, Bill, for calling in. We're coming up against the top of the hour, running out of time for more calls. But I'm curious, Doctor, have you considered, much like the handbooks that are given to nurses, have you ever considered writing kind of a clinical handbook for doctors on how to deal with this?
Yeah.